back to another Chart Nerd TA update. So I'm going to be diving back into Algorand this morning for another update. But this video is going to be a bit different. I'm not going to be sitting here saying, okay, basically the chart can either go up or go down, which is what we normally go through. Most TA is in regards to that, support, resistance, predicting further movements moving forward. And if you are looking at TA in regards to, certain people's channels where sometimes, some people get things wrong and a lot of people get slated for it. And I don't think it's fair, because at the end of the day, it's everyone's opinion. None of what we say is financial advice, and we're just trying to help. So, I may be wrong, I may be right, but it is what it is. We move forward with the charts and we try and get what we can see in front of us and predict what we can see in front of us correct, but it's not always going to plan out that way, guys. Okay, so whatever video I do, please do not take it as financial advice. It's only for educational purposes only. And yeah, I'm just doing what I love here, and I'm just trying to help everybody on the way forward. So looking at this chart here, okay, I'm going to give us some price predictions to the upside. Okay, if this is our low, okay, and right now this little cluster here is just this sort of accumulation phase where the market's going sideways, no one knows what's going on, and we're just accumulating. Basically, you can see down here before these breakouts, okay, you had accumulation, breakout. Right down here we had some sort of accumulation phase. Okay, we coiled up, we broke out, you come down again. Right here you have some sort of accumulation phase. Okay, right now potentially we're just going through some sort of accumulation phase before we get our continuation. So if this is the case, okay, what we can say here, okay, is that this is our current low, okay, what we put in June. So if we are to retrace from this low back to the all-time high, okay, for me, the bull run targets, okay, so I'm not saying that this is going to happen overnight. I'm not saying that it's going to happen now, and that, okay, this definite is your low, okay, and that's it, we're off to the moon. I'm not saying that, okay, but this is a potential play moving forward, okay, going from this low here, this is our 0 fib, okay, retracing to the all-time high, which is our 1 fib, okay, so these are the levels and fibs that we have to break through moving forward in order to get to our new all-time high targets. So for me, once you start to come up, eventually, if this is the bottom and you start, here is where you start forming this your way out basically, and you start retracing to this 1 fib. For me, the technical targets to the upside, once you tackle this all-time high, okay, once you tackle $2.80, and we do get back up there, I do believe algo will eventually, okay. Not many people thought that when algo was down here or down here that it was going to get up to these price ranges up here, but it did, okay, and it took out highs along the way. So what's to say that we can't start coming up here, taking out highs along the way and getting back up to where we basically fell from, okay. So it's a big potential, okay, and this potentially right here is your low. It just doesn't feel like it, okay. Fear never feels like opportunity. But if we was to come up and tackle this all-time high and tackle this $2.80, for me, in the long run, I think what we're trying to get to here over the next couple of years is $11, okay, and that would be my next sort of bull run target before a larger sort of pullback. Okay, now what gives confluence to a bit of this, okay, is one, okay, it's the 1618 target from the current low to the all-time high, okay, and these, again, if we was to get, let's say, from this low, I'll show you an example, from this low going up to this high, okay, when we was down here, people didn't think we were going to be coming back up here and breaking that, but what happened is you came down and look what target you met. You ran up to the blue line, which is the 1618, okay, it's the 1618 target that was met. So if we just drag that along, you can see a bit easier. Okay, so from this low to this high, we met the 1618 target, bang on to a T, and that's where we came back for support and broke out further. Okay, so what's to say now that we can't do the same here? From this low, come up and meet this 1618 target, okay, because it's normally what happens on a retracement. Okay, so again, just to confirm and show you guys, we went from this low to this high. When we broke out of this high, we met the 1618. Okay, we met it. Okay, so 1618 targets tend to get met. Okay, so if this is our low, okay, and we're going from this low to this high, this is the target in the long run for me, $11.77. Okay, and that is a potential from here. Okay, that's a potential long op of around 3,600%. Okay, 3,600%. Now, as I've said, I don't think this is something that's going to happen overnight. It's not something that's going to happen imminently. Okay, these things take time to go from this low to this all-time high. It took 600 days, 2 years. So if we was to give a rough estimate from this low, if we was to go 600 days, okay, you could be looking at roughly, I think it was 616 days or something, wasn't it? You could be looking at not hitting this new all-time high until February 2024, maybe even further, okay? But that's just going off how long it took this wave to complete, okay? Because what you can see here for algo as well, okay, is the market works in waves. You have this wave 1, this wave 2, this wave 3, this wave 4, this wave 5, okay? And you had that wave 5, and that was it. That was your blow off top. And now from this, you have a correction, okay? And what's happening now is you've got this A, you've got this B, you've got this C, okay? And this is why I'm thinking potentially this could be the lows, okay? This could be the lows. You've met your target. Right now you're accumulating, looking to start working your way back up to the all-time high, okay? And it's at that point, once you start breaking that, okay, and you do see algo break it, okay, and hold that as support, I think you're on your long run up there to $11, okay? But as I've said, it's a long way away as of yet. Markets take time, okay? We had this insane impulsive move through 2021. Of course you're going to get corrective moves in 2022, okay? You can see that this whole impulse here was a two-year run. Basically, you went from March 2020 to November 2021. Okay, it was about a year and a half. Okay, now this correction has only been going on for, again, just short of a year. So when you go up, guys, you come down. When you go down, guys, you go up. Okay, but it's whether this is the low or not. But those are my projected targets for the future. Okay, if this low holds, you are looking at the 1618, $11.96. Once you tackle the all-time high and you get the resume of the bull run. Okay, because what I think in theory could be going on here, okay, is Algorand potentially, okay, as I said, you got waves within waves. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could be a large wave 1, okay, and now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could potentially, or ABC, however you look at it, is a wave 2 pullback. Now what happens is this is a wave 3, okay, and this is where the bull run could resume, okay, and if it does and you take out this high, that wave 3 is $11. At that point you pull back to the wave 1 high at $2.80, which is our current all-time high, and then potentially we could even get a blow off top of a wave 5 up to $29. Okay, now I know it seems well out of the woods, guys, okay, but this is how it works. The market works in waves. You've potentially got this large wave 1, this corrective wave 2, looking for a large wave 3 up to $11. You pull back to the previous high, okay, at $2.80 for the wave 4, which is quite a shallow, okay, it's a shallower retracement than the wave 2. And then you get your wave 5 blow off top, okay, up to $29. Now, if that was to ever come into fruition, okay, you would be looking at a long op from current price of around 9,000%. Okay, 9,000%. Again, this is all a theory. This is not something that has to come into fruition, but it has a possibility. Okay, now the possibility of it reaching these prices is a lot higher from down here than it was up here. Okay, because if you look at certain indicators on the charts, i.e. even looking at the EMAs here, okay, you can see that once you get too far extended from the EMAs, you get pulled back. Okay, you got too far extended from the EMAs, you pull back. But this is where you fell under them and started your retracement. Okay, when you start losing the EMAs and hitting them on your head, this is where you're in a downtrend. Okay, when you're above these EMAs, you're in an uptrend. Because look, once you came above the EMAs, uptrend. Okay, down below them, hold them, uptrend. You're above the EMAs. Okay, when you're down below the EMAs, downtrend. Okay, it's literally that simple. So for me, a good confirmation signal, even to confirm that our lows are in, or the bottom is potentially in here for algo, all you need to see algo do is come up and tackle this resistance, okay, which is our current resistance, tackle that resistance and close above the weekly 20. Once you start closing above the weekly 20, okay, that's something we haven't done for many moons. Okay, we haven't done it since January of this year. We haven't managed to get above the weekly 20. So once you start, if algo starts to do something like this and starts to come above the 20 and hold its support, for me, you're looking at a minimum of a retest of this 55, wherever it may be, and that is where you could start to say, okay, well, this potentially is the low in here. You're starting to work your way up through the fibs, and potentially you're looking to continue here, and you've got this low, a higher low, you've got a high. All you need to do is come up and tackle this high and put in, let's say, where's that $11? that $11, okay, and all you've got is you've got a wave 1, as I said, a wave 2, and this is the start of your wave 3 for a wave 4 pullback to this high, where you get continuation in the near future, 2024, 2025, up to $29. Okay, guys, so basically that's just what I wanted to show you today for algo. Okay, in the long run, my long run targets, if I can't emphasize it enough, if this is our low, and right now we are looking to start, retracing our way back up to the all-time high, okay, from these lows, if it is the low, okay, then that's my target, $11 by 2024 into 2025. So yeah, guys, that's a quick update for me today. I'm going to dive into the daily quickly before I go, just to see what's going on here at the moment, to take off from where I last left on our updates. Okay, so what you can see here on the daily, one thing that's quite negative, okay, is that I did say this is primarily going to be our resistance, okay, because what happened is we found a low here, we came up to resistance, created a higher low, okay, and we coiled up an ascending level of support, and we broke out, okay, and then we broke out, we met the technical target of this ascending triangle, okay, we met that technical target. I've said this in many videos, guys. We met the technical target, and then we was looking for a retracement back down to 33, I think it was. I'm pretty sure that that's 0.33. Yeah, so that was our area of support we needed to hold from breaking out. But as I said, as you can see, we lost support of that, and we've been thrown back in to this pattern here. Okay, we've been thrown back in. So potentially right now, this is our resistance point. Okay, this is the area we have to get above before we see any sort of continuation or retracement back up to these 41-cent marks that we hit just a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so 33 cents is very, very strong resistance. Unless we start to break out of that, we're not looking at more upside in the near short term. Okay, and in fact, it could be quite negative here, because what you've got, okay, is this low that we came back to this low. Okay, from this low, we was retracing to this high, and you can see that we ran into the 050. Okay, and that to me indicated that it was some sort of dead cat bounce, because when you come down for support and you start to retrace, but you don't retrace to this high, and you create a lower high, okay, and fall back from that, you're in some sort of retracement. Now, what I said potentially here was on the cards, I think a few videos ago, was that we've got this A, you've got this B, and then you've got this C wave down. Okay, looking for support on this ascending support level. Okay, and I did say I think 31 cents was a good area to get involved for a potential long back up to 33. Okay, of which I said you have to break resistance, otherwise we are going to start pulling back. Okay, so from 31 cents, okay, if you did long into 33, you would have been up around 6 to 7%. Okay, but at this point you can see, okay, resistance, it was once again support, but you lost that support, and now you've turned it to resistance again. Okay, and you came down here. Right now you're coming down here. So 33 cents is key resistance right now, key resistance. But one thing I wanted to say is we're still within closes holding this ascending support. Okay, so what you've got here is you've come up to that, you've come back down. If we can hold this trend line, if we can hold it, okay, and potentially start to work our way back up here, you could be in some sort of double bottom pattern. But it's all about holding support. It's all about holding support. If you start to see algo do something like this and hit its head on this trend line and start to roll, it's basically you're in a larger target to the downside. Okay, and I'll give you that target in a second. But for me, right now, okay, we are still holding support, and today's close is very important. If today's close closes outside of this trend line, it's negative. Okay, it's negative because you're losing the support that you've had since this ascending support since the 28th of August. Okay, and potentially what you've done is just broke out, and you're starting a reversal wave back down to these lows. Okay, and you're basically going to come back down to these lows and retest these lows here, which is the foundational support level for algo. Okay, now the likes of ADA, Cardano have already lost this local lows. So is that a foresight? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, who knows? But right now, for me, you're still in the support line. Close above this ascending level of support today. I do think you could be looking to retrace back up to resistance, okay, and form some sort of double bottom, which is the only bullish pattern I really see at the moment. And you'd be in a breakout target from there to there. And you can see if you did come up and start to tackle above 33 cents, you'd be on your way back up to this B wave high of this ABC. Sorry, forgive me, at 36. Okay, and that again would be your resistance point back up to this high. Okay, because it's a game of support and resistance. Come down, create a lower high, pull back, come down for support, break out, you're going to break out. If you do break out 33 cents, 36 cents is my target. Okay, so that would be the confirmational go for me, holding support here, breaking out above 33, and for me at a minimum, then you're looking to push to 36. But it's all about holding. That can only come into play if you hold this ascending level of support. Okay, if you don't, for me, you are in some sort of potentially here again. Okay, you've got a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a wave 5, and you're potentially looking to pull back down to the lows that you actually came from. And this ascending triangle pattern was actually just a fake out basically, and you're just looking for a reversal. Okay, so again, it's all about holding. It's all about holding this support. It's literally all about holding that support. If you don't, okay, if we don't hold that support, okay, you're looking at a retracement to for a minimum to me right now. Okay, if this ascending level of support doesn't hold, let me just get that on the closes again. If that ascending support doesn't hold and you do start to lose 31 cents, okay, for a minute, me at a minimum, you're looking to come down potentially to the 0618 at 30. Okay, and at that point, it would decide what it wants to do then, whether it wants to attack resistance again and start to come back down, or whether it wants to break back into the pattern and break back into this ascending support. But for me, if you do start to lose this and do start to close below that trend line, you're looking for a minimum retracement to 30 cents, okay, in the near short term. And if you was to do that, you are losing this ascending level of support. And for me, potentially, you're looking to come back and start retracing to these lows down here, okay, where you basically came from. So you had this low, you've come up to this high, and potentially this is just a reversal wave back down to where you came from in the first place. Okay, and if it did get to that point, it's very key that algo holds. Okay, because if Algorand starts to lose this low here, this sort of foundational low that it's got for itself here at the moment, okay, then it's a very negative sign. And basically what this is, you've got the wave down, the wave up here, and then you're just basically creating a reversal wave and continuing the trend to further downside. Okay, so for me, as I said, 30 cents right now is the 0618, and it could act as support, but you don't want to lose this trend line. Okay, you really don't want to lose this trend line of support, because it would just indicate that you're potentially coming back down to this level, this foundational area of support, okay, which is what we don't want to happen, because at that point it's hanging on by a knife edge. So yeah, guys, this support right here is very important to hold, but for me it does look like you are trying to create some sort of Elliott wave theory to the downside, okay, and you've got one final leg or push down, which would make many fearful. But I think a third retest of this support would not be too bad, okay? Because look, you've got this 1 retest, resistance, 2 retest, resistance, 3 retest. If you start to come up from that third one and start to come up and tackle 41 cents, that for me is your bottom signal and you're off, okay? If you start to come up and tackle 41 cents, that's it. This is the low and it's in, okay? But there's a lot ahead before we do that, okay? There's a lot in front of us, and right now the charts are showing us that potentially we are looking to come back down and retest our lows. And as I said, with the likes of ADA and a few other coins, they've already lost this foundational low and have done something like this, okay, which they've got their continuation to the downside. So is that basically telling us that, you know, ADA's front running in regards to where the market's heading, and potentially we're going to back down even further, you know, Bitcoin, the rest of the market, altcoins, wherever it may be? It's a big potential, okay? It's a big potential. So that's a quick update. One more thing that's quite negative for us here on the chart, okay, we had this bull cross here, yeah, where the 20 EMA crossed to 55, and we got this impulsive move, okay? Right now we've created a death cross, and you've ran into the 20 as resistance and are being pushed down. So this to me does even indicate is another bit of confluence that now you're under the EMAs. Potentially, if you start to lose, if we lose 31 cents today, okay, this is support currently. If we start to lose 31 cents, you can see here, okay, that it's not good, okay, because you've come down, ran into the daily 20 EMA, created a death cross, and you're being rejected, okay? Lose 31 cents. To me, you're looking to come down and retest this low, and as I said, retest these foundational lows here for algo. So in the near short term, that is what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, we did want 33 to be our sort of support area for continuation. But you can see that right now all we've done is basically turn that back into resistance, just like we did here. We came up, resistance, higher low, okay, and we broke out. Right now what we're doing is coming back into resistance, okay. If we lose the support, we're going to put in a lower low, okay, instead of a higher low. Right here, bullish structure, high lows, breakout. Right here you've got a low, 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 break down. Okay, it's literally that simple, guys. So yeah, that's a very bearish sign right now. We had previous 33 cents as support, created a lower high, depleting buying pressure, lost that support, turned it to resistance, being rejected, lose 31 cents, close below that today, close below this ascending support, it is negative. Okay, so 31 cents right now is our key support. If that is lost, you are looking to retrace, I think, back down to these lows, guys, in the near short term. And as I said, if that holds, dandy, okay, and you've got a triple bottom, which is a bullish pattern. But if you do start to come down and say lose this low and hit your head on it, okay, that's where it's getting negative and you're going to roll over, just like ADA did, okay, and we're going to see more downside. So we'll keep monitoring this moving forward, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's content from Chart Nerd TA. Until next time, peace out, take care.